Welcome in, Bear fans. This is Casey King, your announcer for the ball games tonight. We are in Canute, Oklahoma, home of the Trojans, and we'll be facing off against the Trojanettes first, with the ladies first. Lady Bears come into this game with a record of 12-6 on the season. They are ranked number 16 in the state in Class A ball, and we'll look to have a good matchup tonight as they're facing off against the number 3 team in the state, the Canute Trojanettes. They have come into this game with a record of 15-3. We are about a minute and 45 seconds away from the Star Spangled Banner and the calling of the starters and the tip-off. And so we are underway here. Welcome in, and we're ready to go. Again, this is the number 16 team in the state in Class A versus the number 3 team in the state, so it should be a good matchup. The ladies have already faced the Trojanettes twice in this season already. This is the third matchup of the season. Lady Bears, both games fell short. The first game was by 10 points, and the second game was a little closer. It was by 4 points, and so tonight's the night for the Lady Bears, and we're excited to be here in Canute tonight. Welcome in to the broadcast. Right now, Oklahoma is being played in the arena, and we're just about ready for action here.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. Good evening and welcome to the Canute Public Schools Gymnasium. Tonight's first
And we're ready for action now.
between the Canute Trojanettes versus the Cheyenne Raven Lady Bears.
Starting lineups are ready to be announced. First will be the Lady Bears starting lineup. Senior number 3, Jasmine Boyette. Sophomore number 10, Jaden Greer. Sophomore number 11, Haley Whiteneck. Senior number 14, Faith Bryan. And freshman number 22, Abby Barton.
And now your Canute Trojanettes, coached by Bobby Dawson, assisted by Brian Bingham.
And for the Canute Trojanettes, senior number 1, Leanne Thompson. Junior number 20, Kylie Savage. Junior number 21, Haley Schreck. Junior number 23, Kirsten Strain. And junior number 25, Madison Failer. 8 minutes on the clock. We're just about ready for tip-off. Both teams getting their final instructions before we tip the ball off. And we're ready for this matchup here tonight. Again, 15-3 for the Trojanettes on the season. They're come into this game ranked number 3 in the state. And the Lady Bears come into this game ranked number 16 with a 12-6 record on the season. For the Trojanettes, number 25, Madison Failer, will be jumping. And number 22, Abby Barton, will be jumping for the Lady Bears. And we're ready for action. And the tip-off is won by Barton. And the Lady Bears will have the first possession of the ball game. Boyette passes off to Bryan. She'll dribble back to the left, give it back to Boyette. On to Whiteneck, she'll drive. Looks inside, tip back to Bryan. She'll take the jumper off the mark, and the rebound goes to number 20, Kylie Savage. And now open in the corner for three, number 23 puts up the shot. Offensive rebound by number 1, Leanne Thompson. Failer passes off. Quick shot by number 20, Kylie Savage, off the mark, and Whiteneck will grab the rebound for the Bears. Pushes it ahead to Boyette. 7:15 on the clock early on in this first period. Still scoreless. Into the corner to Greer. Now to Bryan. She'll dribble into the paint. Lays it up. Too strong off the glass. And number 20, Kylie Savage, will get her second rebound of the ball game and bring the ball up the court for the Trojanettes. Schreck with the ball. Gives it to Strain. Now to Failer. She'll fake the shot and drive. And foul will be called on the floor. And the foul's against number 14, Faith Bryan, her first, team's first. And Presley Parkhurst will check into the ball game for the Lady Bears, number 12. It'll be Trojanette ball underneath their own basket. Strain looking to inbound over the top to Failer. Back to Strain. She'll take the jumper in the middle. The shot will be, they call a foul on it, but that was a clean block. And so that'll be the second foul on the team, and that'll go against Jaden Greer, her first. And Strain will be stepping to the line, shooting 2 shots. First shot is up and in. Second attempt is also good. That's the first scores of the ball game. 2-0 the score. 6:36 on the clock. Lady Bears with the ball. Boyette bringing the ball up the court. She'll take the three-pointer and nail it. Jasmine Boyette, 3 points. Gets the ball ahead to Schreck. And she steps out of bounds. And it'll be a turnover there. Lady Bears ball. Faith Bryan to inbound. 6:21 on the clock. 3-2 is the score. Now Boyette brings the ball up the court. She'll pass by, gives it off the good layup for Abby Bryant, 2 points. Abby Barton, 2 points. 6:08 on the clock now. Failer will pull up for 3. Too strong, long rebound out to Schreck. She'll go to the basket, puts her shot up, and will be fouled. Foul goes against Jasmine Boyette, her first foul, and Schreck will be at the free throw line shooting 2 shots. This was the trouble we had the second game we faced them just last week. Got into foul trouble early. They were on the free throw line quite a bit. Schreck's free throw is good. She'll have a second attempt. And now Sydney Batchelor will check into the ball game, number 30 for the Bears. Replacing Bryan. Second shot for Schreck is also good, and that gives them the lead back 4. Actually, it's 5-4 now in favor of the Lady Bears. 5:56 on the clock. Greer with the ball, dribbling to the left. We'll give it up to Batchelor. She'll come back to the right. And now off to Boyette. She'll take the long jump shot and nail it. Jasmine Boyette, 2 points. Failer will kick it ahead to Schreck. She'll look to push the ball ahead. And now cutting to the basket, number 20. And Presley Parkhurst will claim the rebound. Number 20 is Kylie Savage with that shot. Greer will drive the ball into the paint. And a jump ball will be called as a hand was on the ball by the Trojanettes. Haley Whiteneck will check back in for Parkhurst. 5:27 on the clock. And the ball is in possession of the Trojanettes as that was a jump ball call. Savage gives it off to Thompson. Now into Schreck. And now getting a hand on the ball. Failer comes away with it. And she'll double dribble the ball. And a turnover there by the Trojanettes will go to the Lady Bears. 5:13 on the clock now. Boyette brings the ball up the court. Back to Greer. She'll take the jumper. Misses her shot, follows her shot though, and puts it in. Jaden Greer, 2 points with the offensive rebound and the putback. 4:59 on the clock, and timeout has been called by the Trojanettes head coach Bobby Dawson. It'll be a 30-second timeout in length. And the Bears are looking good here early. Have the lead by 5, 9-4. As time expires, it's ready for the action again. It'll be Trojanettes ball. Savage brings the ball up the court. She'll give it off to Failer. And now to Schreck. She'll turn the corner. Into the corner to Strain. Will take the jump shot off the mark. Ball's chased down. And now out of bounds it goes. It will be Lady Bears ball. 4:45 now on the clock. Bryan inbounds to Boyette. Gives it off to Whiteneck. She'll drive. Gives it into the corner to Bryan. She'll look at the three-pointer and knock it down. Faith Bryan, 3 points. And the Bears are in command of this game. 12-4. Trojanettes looking inside to Failer. Nowhere to go. They'll kick it back out. Schreck will kick it to Savage. Now back to Schreck now. Thompson. Failer will take the three-pointer. Too strong again. Rebounded by number 20, Savage, and she'll put it up and in. It's already 3 rebounds for Kylie Savage. Number 20. Boyette brings the ball up the court. She'll turn the corner, go to the basket, and she'll be fouled on her shot. Jasmine Boyette will be going to the free throw line, shooting 2 shots. Foul goes against Leanne Thompson, number 1. Her first foul, team's first. And Boyette at the line, shooting 2. First shot is short. And Parkhurst will check back in, and Batchelor as well. Batchelor will be coming in for Boyette. Jaden Greer checks out. And second shot for Boyette is good. And now subbing in for Boyette is Sydney Batchelor, number 30. 3:52 on the clock. 13-6 is the score. Thompson will look to drive, kicks it back to Savage. She'll turn the corner, go to the basket. Good defense there, and Faith Bryan blocks out well, gets the rebound, and will bring up the court for the Bears. Over to Batchelor. Now Bryan, now Whiteneck. Whiteneck will drive, gives it off to Parkhurst. She'll bring it back to the right. Now to Bryan and to Whiteneck into the corner. She'll look to drive, gives it to Parkhurst. Now Bryan back to Parkhurst. Bryan turns the corner, gives it to Whiteneck on the far side. She'll jump, knock it down the shot. Haley Whiteneck scores 2 points. Thompson will drive into the paint, and a foul will be called. Sydney Batchelor will pick up the foul. Her first, team's fourth, and it'll be a side out of bounds, inbounds play here. Strain kicks it into Failer. Now looking inside to Strain, and ball's tipped away. Faith Bryan will come away with it, and a foul will be called. Number 1, Leanne Thompson will pick up her second foul in this first period. 2:52 on the clock. And now Boyette will check back in for the Lady Bears for Abby Barton. And number 2 Madison Whitson will come into the ball game for the Trojanettes. Boyette with the ball, gives it to Bryan, now to Parkhurst. Now to Batchelor. Gives it to Whiteneck. She'll take a jump shot and knock it down. 2 in a row for Haley Whiteneck. And that extends the lead, 17-6, 11-point lead. Failer will look to drive the ball, kicks it off to Strange. She'll take the long three-pointer, too strong. Long rebound out to Failer. Into the corner to Whitson. She'll take the three-pointer off the mark. And now Whitson runs it all the way down the court and gets the rebound there. Set up the offense again. This is Savage with the ball. She loses it into the corner. Whitson will drive. A foul will be called against Haley Whiteneck. It'll be her first. And that'll be the team's. Fifth foul. And Whitson will be at the line shooting 2 shots. She's the one the last time we faced them that made the free throws at the end of the ball game. It was a tie ball game. She was put onto the free throw line and made four free throws to extend the lead out, and that was the winning margin, 4 points. Whitson makes both her free throws count. Barton checked back into the game there. Boyette will drive, kick it off to Bryan. She'll take the three-pointer in the corner and knock it down. Faith Bryan for her second three-pointer in the ball game. 1:45 in the ball game in the first period right now. 20-7 is the score. Failer with the ball to Strain. Looking for this pick and roll and nowhere to go. So Savage will get the ball now to Failer at the post. She'll put her shot up. And the ball will be rebounded by Faith Bryan, but stolen away. And now a jump ball will be called. It'll be Lady Bears ball here. 1:24 now on the clock. Bryan inbounds to Boyette, who will bring the ball up the court. There's a long jump shot by Boyette, and she knocks down her jump shot tonight. 22-7 is now the score. Failer kicks it over to Whitson. She'll dribble it back up top. Now to Strain. Failer they try to get it inside to Failer. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a turnover there. 1 minute on the clock. And Haley Schreck will check back into the ballgame, number 21, replacing Madison Failer. Haley Whiteneck will check in for the Bears, replacing Sydney Batchelor. 1 minute on the clock and a chance to extend this lead here, maybe possibly with the last possession of the period. Looks like we're going to press it, though. Whiteneck will dribble through, kicks it off to Bryan, now to Parkhurst. She'll dribble it back to the middle. Now to Boyette. She'll look to break down the defense, kicks it off to Bryan. She'll look for her third three-pointer. It's off the mark, and Whitson will rebound the ball. Gives it off to Schreck. And now to Strain. Back to Schreck. 30 seconds on the clock. Schreck will look to drive, kicks it into Whitson. Looks at the jumper. Parkhurst on her. Schreck inside. Now there's a drive, and out of bounds. It'll go 17.9 on the clock. A turnover there again by the Canute Trojanettes. Jaden Greer checking in for the last few seconds of this period, replacing Presley Parkhurst. And 17.9, coach calls one shot here. 17.9. And 22-7 is the score. Boyette brings the ball across the timeline. 10 seconds on the clock. Boyette will take the three-pointer. It'll be off the mark. Bryan will get the rebound. Now Barton puts it in at the buzzer, and that counts. Abby Barton for a rebound and 2 points. Good first period here. That's the best the girls have looked all season, I believe. 24-7 against the number 3 ranked team in the state in Class A ball. Everything seems to be going the Bears' way right now, and we want to keep it that way as we look into the second period and on. 24-7 again is the score. And at the end of that period, Jasmine Boyette ended up with 8 points. Faith Bryan with 6 points. Haley Whiteneck 4, Abby Barton with 4, and Jaden Greer with 2. For the Trojanettes, 6 free throws have been made out of their 7 points. Something's wrong with my scorecard. I don't know who missed a free throw, evidently. Kylie Savage is the only one with a field goal. Somebody must have missed a free throw at one point. To make the score 24-7, the beginning of this second period, the Trojanettes will have the ball. Thaler inside, gives it off to Thompson. She'll drive, and a travel will be called. A turnover there by the Trojanettes, 7:50 on the clock, just early in this second period. Boyette to bring the ball up the court. Gives it off to Bryan. She'll dribble back to the right. Whiteneck will drive into the paint, put her shot up and off the mark. And this time, number 20, Kylie Savage, will rebound the ball. She's already got 4 rebounds in the game. And another turnover as the ball is out of bounds in the corner there. Lady Bears will have the ball. 7:31 on the clock in the second period. Whiteneck now with the ball. Kicks it off to Greer. She'll look at a three-pointer. And out of bounds the ball goes. Didn't hit anything. She was hoping to extend that good shooting in the first period and missed everything there. Just rushing the shot just a little bit, I believe. Thompson with the ball right now. Gives it off to Strain. And now to Schreck. She'll look inside to Thaler. And now over to Thompson at the high post. Working it around and still looking inside. Now to Thaler, gets the ball in the paint. She'll take the jumper. Off the mark, Faith Bryan will rebound the ball. And she'll bring it up the court for the Bears. Into the corner to Whiteneck. Good look inside to Greer. And she will be fouled on the shot. Jaden Greer gets the pass from Whiteneck. And she'll go to the free throw line. And number 23, Kirsten Strain, will pick up her first foul. And that's the team's third. Greer at the free throw line, shooting 2. Her first attempt is short. She'll get another one. And this time she gets it up and over the rim. And that makes the score 25-7 in favor of the Lady Bears. Savage with the ball. Over to Schreck. Now into the corner to Thompson. She'll drive the basket. And now Strain gets the ball inside and lays it up and in. Kirsten Strain with her first field goal of the game, 25-9. She made 2 free throws earlier. Boyette will take the jumper. Too strong this time. And ball comes out to Schreck. She'll bring it all the way up the court. Kicks it off to Thompson. Now Thaler will take the jumper from 15 off the mark. And Faith Bryan gets the rebound. She's got 5 rebounds already in this game. 5:50 on the clock. Boyette will look to drive the ball. And a block will be called before the shot was taken. And Leanne Thompson will pick up her 3rd foul in this first half already. And she'll check out of the ball game. Abby Barton checks out as well for the Bears. Presley Parkhurst into the ball game. And number 13 looks like. Whiteneck will cut to the basket, put her shot up, miss it, and she'll be called for a foul as the rebound comes down to number 13, who checked into the ball game just then. That is Sydney Thrasher. Thaler will take the jump shot, and foul will be called as she shoots. And Presley Parkhurst will pick up the foul. That's her first, team 7th. Thaler was shooting, so she'll go to the free throw line, shooting her first 2 free throws here in the ball game. First one is short. She'll have a second attempt. And that one is good. Giving her first point of the ball game. 25-10 now is the score. Whiteneck has the ball. She'll look inside to Parkhurst. and misses the basket. Number 23, Strain, will come down with the rebound. And now in the corner, Schreck will put the shot up. And now Schreck will get her own miss, but she'll be called for traveling. And so it'll be a turnover there by the Trojanettes. Sydney Batchelor checking into the ballgame with 5:17 on the clock for Faith Bryan. 15-point lead here for the Bears. Parkhurst. Now to Greer. Back to Parkhurst. Now to Boyette. To Batchelor. Parkhurst, well, she'll look at the three-pointer and knock it down. Presley Parkhurst for three. Strain gives it back to Savage. Back to Strain, looking inside to Failer. And Whiteneck will jump in and almost steals the ball away. Now does. And Whiteneck will look to press it ahead. She'll take the jumper and knock it down. Haley Whiteneck for 2 points. That extends the lead to 20, 30-10. Failer will take the jumper inside. Offensive rebound and put back by number 13, Sydney Thrasher, and she will be fouled and go to the free throw line for one shot, as number 10, Jaden Greer, will pick up her second foul of the ball game, the team's eighth. But she made her shot count, so Thrasher will be shooting one shot. Abby Barton will check in for Jaden Greer. 4:19 on the clock in this second period. Thrasher at the free throw line shooting one shot. And that one rolls over the rim and in. Faith Bryan now checking into the ball game for the Lady Bears for Sydney Batchelor. 30-13 is the score. About halfway through this second period. Now full court pressure on the Trojanettes. We'll get it ahead to Whiteneck. She'll look to push it ahead. Barton puts it in. Abby Barton for 2 points, assisted by Haley Whiteneck. We're halfway through this second period. Looking inside, kicking it back to Failer. She'll take the three-pointer off the rim. And now Faith Bryan comes away with the ball. Now Boyette will bring it up the court. She'll look to drive it to the basket. Puts it up with the left hand and in. Jasmine Boyette for 2 points. And the Bears are on fire tonight. Savage with the ball, gives it into Failer. Back to Savage. She'll drive, puts her shot up off the glass, no good. And Jasmine Boyette comes away with the rebound. And timeout, there was something on the court. Looked like a headband, and so they take it off, throw it to the side. We'll restart this with 3:25 in this opening half here. Ball's passed over to Bryan. Now into the corner to Parkhurst. And Whiteneck. Jasmine will shoot the jump shot and knock it down. Jasmine Boyette for 2 points. Now Strain. Looking inside, tipped away. And now Whiteneck pulls up, passes off to Boyette. Now to Bryan. 2:45 on the clock. Parkhurst with the ball in the corner. Back to Whiteneck. Now to Barton. Now to Bryan on the right corner. Over to Boyette. And now the ball's tipped away. Goes out of bounds. It'll remain in possession of the Lady Bears. Last touched by the Trojanettes, number 20, Savage. Sydney Batchelor checking in for Jasmine Boyette. 2:27 on the clock. Along with Greer checking back in, I believe. Greer will bring the ball across the timeline. Over to Bryan. Now back to Greer. Dribble to the right. Picks up her dribble, gives it off to Bryan. She'll dribble to the right. Now to Batchelor. Into Barton. Back out to Bryan. She'll take the three-pointer. Off the rim, no good. Fight for the loose ball. And now a foul will be called. And that will put a 1-and-1 opportunity for Strain, number 23. And the foul will go against Abby Barton, her first of the game, but that is the 9th team foul. And that will result in a 1-and-1 opportunity for Kirsten Strain. Her first attempt bounces around, but it does go in. She'll have a second attempt. 2:03 on the clock. Jasmine Boyette checking back into the game after a quick break. In for Parkhurst. And Whiteneck checking in also for Batchelor. 2:03 on the clock. And Strain is 3 for 3 from the free throw line, looking for her fourth. And that one's too strong, and Jaden Greer will grab the rebound for the Bears. And now Boyette brings the ball up the court. Under 2 minutes to play in this second period, excuse me. Whiteneck looking to drive, gets the ball tied up. Now Greer gets in there, ties up the ball, and it'll be a jump ball called. But it'll be with the Lady Bears here, 1:44 on the clock. Boyette to inbound. Over to Bryan. Into Barton, looking inside, but stolen away by, that's number 25, Failer, Madison Failer. Now to Strain, she'll look to drive, back to Failer. Thrasher, and now to Schreck. She'll take the long jumper. Off the mark, and Bryan will go for the rebound. And the ball will go out of bounds. Looked like a lot of contact to me to knock that ball loose, but they call it white ball. It'll be Trojanette's ball. Faith Bryan already has 6 rebounds in the game. Failer will take the long jumper, knock it down, and be fouled in the process. Failer's first field goal of the game, and she'll be at the free throw line to shoot one shot. As the foul goes against Faith Bryan, number 14, her second. She'll check out of the ball game here for the last minute and 14. Free throw on its way by Failer is good. 3-point play there. It's 36-17, and now ball's passed out of bounds. And not a good look there. 1:11 on the clock now, and it'll go back to the Trojanettes. Schreck with the ball. Over to Whitson. Now to Failer. In the corner to Strain. Back out to Failer. Into Schreck. And now 13, Thrasher will take the three-pointer. Rebound is lost there by Barton. And the Lady Bears just can't seem to grab the ball, and that'll result in a foul. Sydney Batchelor will pick up her second foul of the game. It'll be free throws for number 23, Kirsten Strain. She is 3 of 4, and now 4 of 5 from the free throw line. 45.1 on the clock. Second attempt is short, and Jaden Greer will run it down. Now a foul will be called. Number 13, Sydney Thrasher, will pick up her first foul of the ballgame. That's only the 5th team foul. Boyette with the ball, holding for the last possession of this half, and holding an 18-point lead, 36-18. Whiteneck will pass it away out of bounds. That's her second turnover in a row. 26.2 on the clock. And now a chance for the Trojanettes to draw closer here at the end of this half. Failer will inbound for the Trojanettes into Whitson. Now to Failer. Into the corner to Strain. Failer picks up her dribble. Whitson, now Schreck will go up off the mark. Offensive rebound put back by Whitson. Now the loose ball is claimed by Barton. And the Bears will And a foul will be called just before the end of the half. But it doesn't result in anything as they weren't into the bonus. So that'll be Madison Whitson picking up that foul at the last second. And that's the end of the first half. And the Lady Bears find themselves with an 18-point lead. I believe that's the best half of play they've had all season. And scoring 36, except for the first game was a really good output offensively. But this is against the number 3 ranked team in the state in Class A ball. Jasmine Boyette ends that first half. Let me count them up right quick. 12 points and a rebound. Haley Whiteneck has 6 points and a rebound. Faith Bryan has 6 points and 6 rebounds. Jaden Greer with 3 points and 3 rebounds.
All right, let's welcome
Presley Parkhurst has 3 points and a rebound. And Abby Barton, I don't know if I said her, 6 points and a rebound. For the Trojanettes, at the end of the half, Kirsten Strain ended up with 6 points and a rebound. Madison Failer has 4 points and a rebound. Kylie Savage 2 points and 4 rebounds. Sydney Thrasher with 3 points. And Madison Whitson has 1 point, 2 rebounds. That kind of wraps up the whole of the first half. A good offensive output by the Lady Bears as they find themselves doubling up the score on the Trojanettes in that first half. 36-18, they have the lead. And there's about 8 minutes, 20 seconds left in this halftime. We'll be back in that amount of time. Welcome back in. We're about to get started. We got about 10 seconds in this halftime left over. And so we're about to get ready to go. Bears getting their final instructions for this second half with a 36-18 lead. As we start this third period, 8 minutes on the clock, it'll be Trojanettes ball. And we're ready for action. Savage will bring the ball up for the Trojanettes into Failer. She'll look to Thompson, back to Failer. She'll look to drive, puts her shot up, and rebounded by Strain. And Failer will take the three-pointer and knock it down. Pressure in the backcourt. Over to Bryan. She'll bring it across the timeline. Now to Boyette. She'll look to drive. Goes to the basket. It'll be out of bounds. Tipped out by the Trojanettes. Into Whiteneck. She'll put her shot up. Be fouled in the shot. So she'll go to the free throw line. And number 20, Kylie Savage, will pick up her first foul of the game. Whiteneck at the free throw line shooting 2 shots. That's the first team foul for the Trojanettes. Whiteneck shooting 2. First shot is up and in. Her second is off the rim, but rolls in. 38-21's the score, 7:20 on the clock. Savage bringing the ball up the court. Looking to the left to Schreck. She'll dribble to the right. Now into Thompson. To Savage. Now looking to Failer inside. She'll turn, shoot off the rim. But Leanne Thompson will get the rebound. Three-pointer on the way. Off the mark. And again, Thompson flies in. Nobody wants to rebound for the Bears. And a foul will be called as Leanne Thompson flies in, number 1. And the foul will go against Haley Whiteneck, her third foul. Team's first of the half, and Thompson at the free throw line shooting 2 shots. First attempt is in. Her first point of the ball game. Presley Parkhurst checking in for Whiteneck. Minute gone in this third period. Thompson's second attempt. And the second one is good as well. 38-23 now is the score. To Greer. And now to Parkhurst. Into the front court. Parkhurst in the corner to Bryan. She'll kick it off to Boyette at the top. Now to Greer. Parkhurst. Boyette. She'll look to drive out to Parkhurst. Nowhere to go. Out to Barton. Now she'll hold the ball. Now to Boyette. Off to Greer. Jump shot. Off the mark. Out of bounds the ball goes, and it'll be Lady Bears ball. Last touch by the Trojanettes. 6:17 on the clock. Boyette to inbound the ball. To Bryan. Now to Boyette. Back to Bryan. She'll look at the three-pointer. Off the backboard and in. Faith Bryan, 3 points. 6:08 on the clock. Schreck to Strain to Failer. She'll drive. Puts her shot up. Blocked by Greer. And Barton will grab the ball. And Parkhurst with the ball. Now to Boyette. She'll bring the ball up the court. Tipped away, but Bryan is there to save it. 5:50 on the clock. Boyette now with the ball. She'll look at three-pointer. Off the mark this time, and Failer will get the rebound. Bring the ball up the court herself. Now she'll step into a three-pointer. Off the mark, and Boyette will run down the ball. Over to Bryan. Bryan will bring the ball up the court for the Bears. 5:30 on the clock. Into the corner to Greer. She'll look at the three-pointer. Off the mark. Ball goes out of bounds off the Trojanettes. It'll be Lady Bears ball. Whiteneck will check back in for Greer. 5:22 on the clock in this third period. Boyette to inbound. Into Whiteneck, cutting to the basket. Working it back around. Boyette now has the ball. Off to Barton. Now to Whiteneck. Boyette, she'll dribble to the left. Gives it to Parkhurst, down to Whiteneck. She turns inside, looks to Barton for the jumper. And it's in. Abby Barton for 2 points. Now Schreck into Savage. Now Schreck, back to Schreck. Kicks it off to Thompson. Now to Failer. She'll drive. And now Strain will lay it up and in for 2 points for the Trojanettes. Whiteneck will bring the ball across the timeline with 4:30 on the clock. Into the corner to Parkhurst. Now to Bryan. To Barton. To Parkhurst. Boyette on the left. She'll dribble. Now Whiteneck posts up. And shot will be blocked there. Now three-pointer on the way, off the mark, and Barton will get the rebound. Boyette to bring the ball up the court. Barton with the ball, out to Bryan. She'll look at a three-pointer. And it rolls off her hand, just right into the basket for 3 points. Faith Bryan. 3:40 now on the clock. Looking inside to Failer. And a little bit of frustration showing on the Trojanettes there. Barton plays good defense and gets the rebound. And Whiteneck will bring the ball up the court. And timeout will be called by the Lady Bears. It'll be a 30-second timeout with 3:21 on the clock and a 46-25 score in favor of the Lady Bears. Faith Bryan has come out and knocked down 2 more three-pointers. She had 2 in the first half, and that gives her 12 points. And she's tied for the high score right now with Jasmine Boyette with 12. .321 on the clock. Timeout has expired. We get ready for action here. It'll be Lady Bears ball. Boyette to inbound the ball. Into Whiteneck. She'll put up a quick shot off the mark. Barton will be there for the rebound. And now a foul will be called as she goes back to the basket. I think they're going to call it on the floor, though. And number 13, Sydney Thrasher will pick up her second foul. Team's second of the half. Whiteneck gets the inbounds pass from Boyette. Now out to Greer. To Bryan, to Boyette. Into Whiteneck. She'll look to attack. Puts her shot up. And a foul will be called. And again, number 13, Sydney Thrasher, picks up her third foul, team's third. And Whiteneck will be at the free throw line shooting 2 shots. Too strong this time on the free throw. She's 2 for 3 so far tonight. 3:05 on the clock. Second attempt. This time comes out right. Strain over to Savage. Schreck back to Savage. Into Strain. She'll look to drive. And Whiteneck's there to steal the ball away. Gives it off to Bryan. Now Boyette will get the ball and bring it across the timeline and into the corner to Jaden Greer. And now the offense will set up the possession here with 2:40 on the clock. Faith Bryan to Barton. She'll take the long jump shot off the mark. Rebounded by Strain. Now they'll bring the ball up the court. Schreck over to Thrasher, to Thompson. She'll look to drive, kicks it off to Into the corner, now back out to Strain. Thrasher, Thompson. A long three-pointer by Strain, off the mark, rebounded by Jasmine Boyette. Now Jaden Greer takes the three-pointer off the mark. It'll go out of bounds, off the Trojan nets. And now subbing into the ballgame, Presley Parker, Sydney Batchelor, and for the first time, number 21, Kylie McDaniel will check into the game for the Lady Bears. And number 2, Madison Whitson for the Trojanettes will check into the ball game as well. 2 minutes on the clock in this third period. Over the top to Greer. Back to Boyette. She'll look at the three-pointer. Off the mark, rebounded by Whitson. Now to Thompson and now to Strain. Back to Thompson. She'll drive. Puts her shot up, and a travel will be called. Turnover there by the Trojanettes. 1:40 on the clock in this third period. 47-25 is the score. Batchelor will inbound to Greer. And now stolen away by Whitson. Blocked, though, by Greer, and she'll run it down. Over to Boyette. She'll dribble it up the court, bring it across the timeline. And now she puts up a floater, and it's good. Jasmine Boyette for 2 points. 1:20 now on the clock. Thompson gives it off to Whitson. She'll drive it in. Kicks it back to Strain. Back now to Thompson at the top. Back to Strain. Whitson. Thompson. Now to Strain. Whitson looking at it. Doesn't want to take that shot. Now she'll step back, take it, and knock it down. Madison Whitson, 3 points for the Trojanettes. 48 seconds on the clock. Jasmine Boyette will drive it in. Kicks it off to Parkhurst in the corner for three. And Presley Parkhurst nails a three-pointer. 35 seconds on the clock. Thompson with the ball. And Greer tips the ball away as it looks inside to Schreck. She'll run it down. She'll drive the basket. Lays it up. No good. And Parkhurst will come away with it. She gets knocked down and no foul is called. And so a loose ball there turns over to Schreck. She'll knock down the basket there. Her first field goal of the game. And now a foul will be called on that play. Number 13, Sydney Thrasher, will pick up her fourth foul of the ball game. Lots of contact not being called, it seems like, but that time they finally called it. 9.5 seconds on the clock in this third period. Starters back in the ball game with the exception of Presley Parkhurst. Inbounded to Whiteneck, back to Boyette. 5 seconds. She'll drive it, gives it off to Barton. Good look inside, and Abby Barton makes it count for 2 points. And at the end of three, the score is now 54-30. The Bears are in command. Great effort there in that third period. All the way through this game, they've been shooting well, but great effort as the Trojanettes came out early, tried to steal back the momentum, and the Bears just wouldn't let them have it. Kept the momentum through that third period. At the end of three, 14 points for Jasmine Boyette. Abby Barton has 10. Faith Bryan has 12. Haley Whiteneck has 9. 3 points for Jaden Greer. And Presley Parkhurst has 6 points as well. As the fourth period gets underway, it will be Lady Bears ball. And a commanding lead here, 24-point lead. 8 minutes on the clock, we're ready for action. Inbounded to Jasmine Boyette. Over to Bryan, now to Parkhurst. To Barton, she'll look at the jumper. Be short. And Bryan will be there for the putback. Faith Bryan, 2 points. Thompson brings the ball up to Strange. She'll look at the three-pointer. Short. Fight for the loose ball. A jump ball will be called. It'll be Trojanettes ball. 7:30 on the clock early in this fourth period. Strain will inbound for the Trojanettes. Into Thompson. And now Whiteneck gets a hand on it. Almost gets a steal. Regained possession by the Trojanettes. Schreck now with the ball. She'll drive to the right. Kicks it off to Thompson. Now to Failer. She'll look to drive to the basket. Off the mark. Abby Barton's giving her all kinds of fits tonight. And Jasmine Boyette comes away with the ball. Bryan with it now. And while Whiteneck. Parkhurst coming clear at the top. Over to Boyette. 7 minutes on the clock. Into Whiteneck. Now out to Bryan. She'll look for her fifth three-pointer. No good. And a foul will be called on the loose ball. Haley Whiteneck will pick up her fourth foul. And the team's second. And Jaden Greer will check in for Whiteneck. 6:53 on the clock. Thompson with the ball. They're going to hold the ball a little bit here. Now to Whitson. Now to Failer. She'll look to drive. Nowhere to go. Kicks it off to Thompson. Now to Strain. Looking inside to Schreck. Or Whitson actually cuts to the basket. Knocks down the shot there. Madison Whitson for two. The inbounds play comes all the way out to half court. Now across the half court line. Boyette will drive. Kicks it off to Barton. And now they'll back it back out. Jaden Greer will take the three-pointer. And knocks it down. Jaden Greer for 3 points. And the exceptional shooting tonight is in fuego. Schreck will look to drive, gives it off to Strain, and now a foul will be called. And number 12, Presley Parkhurst, will be called for her second foul. Team's third of the half. It'll be Trojanettes ball out of bounds. Whitson to inbound. Into Thompson. Now to Failer. She'll turn. Kicks it back out. Working it around. Inside to Failer. She'll look to drive. Whitson on the wing. And now a loose ball. Presley Parkhurst will come away with it and gives it off to Boyette. Now into the corner. Greer looking to catch fire. Knocks down her second in a row. Three-pointer. Jaden Greer, 62-32 now. And Failer drives. And foul will be called on the floor. Abby Barton will pick up the foul. That's her second. Team's fourth. Bears with a 30-point lead in this ball game against the number 3 team in the state. Strain to inbound. Out to Failer. She'll look at the three-pointer and knock it down. Madison Failer for her second three-pointer. Now Bryan pushes it ahead to Barton. Over to Bryan again. Now into the corner. Parkhurst. Now to Greer. They fly out to her. And she's knocked down the last 2 three-pointers. Now Boyette has the ball tipped away. And it'll be out of bounds. So tipped away, though. Last touch by the Trojanettes. Haley Whiteneck checking back in. Replacing Parkhurst. Bears ball. 5:09 on the clock in this fourth and final period. Boyette now. To break down the defense, she'll drive. Kicks it off to Whiteneck. Now she'll drive into the paint. Puts her shot up. Too strong. Rebounded by Leanne Thompson. And now Failer finds herself open at the three-point line. And now rebounded by Strain, but and Strain will lay it up and in. Jasmine Boyette breaks down the defense in the backcourt and bring it up the court. Now Schreck pressuring her. And now a timeout will be called by the Lady Bears. Be a 30-second timeout, looks like. Nope, he wants a full timeout. As the Bears come out from the opening bell to now have looked good offensively and have stretched their lead out. The Trojanettes have come back a little bit on them now. It's a 25-point lead, 62-37. Nine three-pointers in this ball game by the Lady Bears, 4 of which from Faith Bryan. Jaden Greer has 2, and Presley Parkhurst has 2. Jasmine Boyette with the 9th one there. But a good effort offensively. Defensively, they've frustrated the Trojanettes. And even though they've scored 37 so far in this ball game, they scored 47 the first game we met them, won by 10, and scored 37, I believe it was, in the second match just last week. And so 4:27 on the clock, it'll be Lady Bears ball. Boyette to inbound. Into Whiteneck, back to Boyette. And now traveling will be called. A turnover there by Boyette. And she dances with her feet there before she dribbles the ball. 4:25 on the clock. Schreck will dribble the ball up the court quickly. Looking to drive it. Nowhere to go, though. Kicks it out to Thompson. She'll look at the three-pointer. Off the mark. Strain will come away with it and put it back for the offensive rebound and put back. Whiteneck now with the ball, kicks it off to Greer. Now she picks up her dribble over to Bryan. Now to Boyette. Under 4 minutes to play. Now to Greer. And now a foul will be called on Madison Failer. That'll be her first foul of the game. Team's 5th. Whiteneck will inbound for the Lady Bears. Into the backcourt to Boyette. 3:50 on the clock. Over to Whiteneck. Now to Bryan. To Boyette. And now a foul will be called. Leanne Thompson, number 1, will pick up her 4th foul of the game, team 6th. And 3:37 now on the clock. Boyette with the ball. Brings it into the front court. Off to Whiteneck. To Greer. And now the ball's tipped away, but Whiteneck reclaims it. Now over to Boyette. They'll set it up into Whiteneck. And now a foul will be called. Number 23, Kirsten Strain, will pick up her 2nd foul. That's the team 7th, though, and that'll put Haley Whiteneck at the free throw line, shooting a 1-and-1. She's 3 for 4 on the night. First one is up and in. She'll have a second one. That one comes up short. Strain will rebound for the Trojanettes, and they'll bring the ball up quickly. Schreck over to Whitson. To Thompson. Back to Whitson. Working it into the corner to Schreck. Now Thompson will go to the basket. Lays it up and in. Leanne Thompson. We're going to call a jump ball, as they didn't know who touched it last. That goes to the Lady Bears. Now Whiteneck with the ball. Gets it ahead to Parkhurst into the front court. And now a loose ball on the floor. Whiteneck comes away with it. And now Thompson steals the ball away. Will pull up the dribble. Kicks it ahead to Schreck. She'll take the three-pointer off the mark. Rebound out of bounds. It'll be Lady Bears ball. 2:27 on the clock. 41-63 is the score. Number 13, Sydney Thrasher, and number 12 will come into the ball game for the Trojanettes, that is Abby Janning. Parkhurst checks out of the ball game. Barton back in. Now to Greer. Bryan ahead to Boyette. Foul will be called. Madison Failer will pick up her second. Faith Bryan will step to the free throw line to shoot her first free throw of the ball game. 1-and-1 opportunity. And she makes that one, so she'll have a second one. And that one's off the mark, rebounded by Thrasher. Whitson with the ball. Over to Strain. Strain with the ball at the top. She'll look to drive. Faith Bryan gets a hand on it. It'll go out of bounds. 2:04 on the clock. It'll be Trojanettes ball. Inbounded to Whitson. She'll look to drive. Gives it to Failer down low. She'll turn inside and be fouled as she goes up to the basket. And Abby Barton will pick up the foul, her third. Team's fifth, but that is a shooting foul, so Madison Failer will be shooting 2 shots. First one's up and in. Second one is also good. Makes her 4 for 5 on the night off the free throw line. Bryan with the ball. And loose ball out, kicked over to Whiteneck. And now we'll call a foul as the ball's kicked out to Whiteneck. She'll step to the free throw line. The foul will go against number 25, Madison Failer. That'll be her third. But it is a 1-and-1 opportunity for Haley Whiteneck. First attempt is up and in. So she'll get her second attempt. And that makes her 6 of 8 tonight at the free throw line. 1:45 on the clock. Whitson with the ball. Kicks it to Failer. She'll look to drive on Barton. A foul will be called. Puts up a wild shot, but Abby Barton picks up her 4th foul. And so Madison Failer stepping to the free throw line, shooting 2 shots, trying to earn some points for the team here. First one's off the mark. Second one is up and in. Making the score 66-44. Boyette will bring the ball up the court. Over to Whiteneck. And now a foul will be called. Whiteneck stepping to the free throw line again. And now it'll be 2 shots as the foul goes against number 2, Madison Whitson, her first. 10 team fouls, and so 1:28 on the clock. Whiteneck shooting 2. This time she's off the glass and in. Now, number 5, Mackenzie Coker will check into the ball game, replacing Faith Bryan. Second attempt for Whiteneck is up and in. Whitson has the ball. Oh, and now a foul will be called. .123 on the clock. That'll put Whitson to the free throw line as the Bears have entered the bonus. 7 team fouls. Be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Madison Whitson. Her first one is good, so she'll get the second attempt. Second one's off the mark, and Parkhurst will claim the rebound for the Bears. Boyette with the ball now. 1:15 on the clock. Over to Parkhurst, now to Barton. A foul will be called before that pass. And that'll go against Madison Failer. That'll be her 4th. And Presley Parker stepping to the free throw line. Her first attempts from the line. And her first one is good. Sydney Batchelor along with Kylie McDaniel check in, replacing the starters. Jasmine Boyette and Abby Barton. Leanne Thompson checking in also for Failer. 1:12 on the clock. Second attempt off the mark for Parkhurst. And number 13, Sydney Thrasher, will grab the rebound. Whitson with the ball. Looking inside, nowhere to go. Janning now out to Strain, 55 on the clock. Strain drives the ball. Parkhurst gets the rebound. Now into the front court to Batchelor. Kylie McDaniel looking for points. Misses the shot. Mackenzie Coker blocks out and gets the rebound there. Now over to Parkhurst. Now Batchelor. And now the steal by Whitson. The shot is missed. Parkhurst will get the rebound. 28 seconds on the clock. McDaniel lining up the three-pointer. Off the mark. 10 seconds. Janning with the ball, trying to get it to the front court. McDaniel steals it. And now 2 seconds. And that's the ball game. And the Lady Bears win this ball game big, 69-45. Dominant from start to finish. Offensively, great output. Defensively, great effort. The only struggle they really had was rebounding, as they got out-rebounded in this ball game. "14 points for Haley Whiteneck. 14 points for Jasmine Boyette. She also had 4 rebounds. Faith Bryan had 15 points, 7 rebounds in the ball game. She's the star player of the game because of that output. Just an all-around great effort there by the Lady Bears as they pull out the victory, 69-45, and go to a record of 13-6 on the season, and knocking off the number 3 team in the state here tonight. They'll go to 15-4 on the season, and so good matchup there. Good effort by the Lady Bears, as the first 2 matchups of the season ended in loss for the Lady Bears. Tonight, they dominated all the way through and got the victory, 69-45. Well, there's about 14 minutes on the clock before we'll tip off the ball game for the Bears as they get warmed up. We'll be back in just a bit. We're ready for the starting lineups for the boys' game. We welcome you back as we're ready for the boys' matchup tonight in Canute. For the Bears, starting lineup, junior number 2, Justice Boyette. Sophomore number 10, Jacob Ford. Junior number 13, Hunter Whiteneck. Senior number 20, Isaac Garcia. And sophomore, Jaden Smith, number 30. Now for the Trojans of Canute. Sophomore, number 3, Keenan Smith. Freshman, number 14, Colby Maddox. Senior, number 22, Trace Maddox. Senior, number 25, Kyler Williams. And sophomore, number 30, Kellen Henderson. Bears come into this matchup tonight with a 6-12 record on the season. The Trojans come into this game with a 12-6 record on the season. These two teams faced off earlier in the season, and the Trojans won by 11, 49-38. And so we'll see how this turns out here in a little bit. 8 minutes on the clock. Coach has given their final instructions to both teams here. Bears ready to go. 8 minutes on the clock. We're ready for the tip-off. Jacob Ford, number 10, will jump for the Bears, and number 3, Keenan Smith, will jump for the Trojans. And here we go. And Jacob Ford skies for the ball, gets the ball over to Whiteneck. To Boyette. He'll look to turn the corner. Nowhere to go. Gives it over to Whiteneck on the right. He'll look for the three-pointer. Off the mark. Rebounded to Kellen Henderson. Now the Trojans will have their first possession of the ball game. 7:25 on the clock. Early in this first period. Kyler Williams with the ball. To Colby Maddox. Now an alley-oop attempt there. Keenan Smith lays it up and in for 2 points. Boyette with the ball. Over to Whiteneck. Now Jaden Smith. Back to Whiteneck. Now to Garcia. To Boyette. To Whiteneck. 6:45 on the clock. Bears looking for a chance to score here. Smith. Garcia. Into Smith again. The high post. Now to Garcia. Over to Whiteneck. Whiteneck will look to turn the corner, go to the baseline. He'll lay it up and in. Hunter Whiteneck with a good layup there. Getting to the basket. 6:18 on the clock. Score's tied 2-2. Colby Maddox with the ball. Now to Keenan Smith. Kyler Williams. Back to Smith. Looks for the screen to turn the corner, nowhere to go. Trace Maddox will line up a three-pointer and knock it down. Trace Maddox for 3. Whiteneck will bring the ball up the court for the Bears. He'll look to beat the defender. Almost passes it into the backcourt. Smith saves it. Now Boyette will look to make something happen. And now he'll pass it out of bounds as Whiteneck looked to cut to the basket. And Boyette, there's a little miscommunication between the two of them. 5:22 on the clock. 5-2 is the score. Kyler Williams has the ball. He'll take the three-pointer and knock it down. 8-2 is the score. 5 minutes on the clock in this opening period. Garcia takes the ball up top. Over to Boyette. Now forward to Garcia. He'll take a jumper. Off the mark, rebounded by Smith. Now Trace Maddox. Back to Smith. He'll turn the corner, try to drive. Now Smith, or Maddox will drive. And we're going to call a foul on the floor before the shot. And that foul will go against Isaac Garcia, his first, team's first. Trace Maddox has the ball. We'll inbound the ball into Smith. Kellen Henderson will look to drive. He'll step back, shoot the ball, and make his shot count. Whiteneck with the ball. Over to Smith. He'll look at the jumper. It'll be short. Trace Maddox will get the rebound. For the Trojans, look to push it ahead. Out of bounds the ball will go, and it'll be a turnover there. Subbing in for the Bears, number 34, Chance Smith, is in the ball game now. Replacing his brother, Jaden. Whiteneck with the ball. 4 minutes on the clock. Over to Boyette. Looking inside to Ford. Almost stolen away. Garcia claims it. Now Chance will take a shot off the backboard. He'll get it again, shoot it again off the mark, and now he'll crash the boards, but Smith will get the rebound that time. Over to Colby Maddox. Back to Smith. 3:30 on the clock in this first period. To Trace Maddox, looking back to Smith, tipped out of bounds by Isaac Garcia. Good defense there. But it'll be off the Bears' Trojan ball. Kellen Henderson to inbound. Into Kyler Williams. He'll go to the basket and lay it up and in. And the score is now 12-2, and a timeout will be taken by the Bears. Their first timeout. Be a 30-second timeout. We've got a stoppage in play next week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday is going to be the Bi-County Tournament in Elk City. And I'm not sure that we're going to be able to broadcast that. We'll have to find out, but it will be on the Elk City's station. Paragon TV, I believe, is how they do theirs. And so you can check it out there for sure. And so that's next week, Bi-County Tournament, Thursday through Saturday. I haven't seen a schedule to know when we actually play. Play resumes. It'll be Bears ball. 12-2 is the score in favor of the Trojans as they've come out hot here. The Bears haven't been able to make a shot except for a layup that Whiteneck went to the basket on. Whiteneck passes to Garcia. He'll look to drive, shoots the ball, gets it blocked away, and a forward will run it down though. Trent Barton has checked into the ball game for the Bears. Whiteneck will take the long three-pointer and knock it down. Hunter Whiteneck for three. 12-5 now is the score. 2:45 on the clock. Trace Maddox looking to drive the ball. He will. Go to the basket and lays it up and in. Whiteneck with the ball. Over to Boyette. 2:15 on the clock. Garcia to Whiteneck. Long three-pointer again by Whiteneck, and he's keeping us in the ball game right now. He scored all 8 of the Bears' points. 14-8 is the score. 2:04 on the clock. Trace Maddox will take the three-pointer and knock it down. Boyette with the ball. Over to Whiteneck. He'll look to turn and drive the basket and gets it stolen away by Trace Maddox. Now to Henderson. He'll drive. And an offensive foul will be called there on Henderson, his first, team's first. Now subbing into the ball game For the Bears, number 3, Brance Hughes. For Jacob Ford. Also into the ballgame for the Trojans, number 23, Christian Steffes, and number 1, Joseph Cordoni. .120 now on the clock in this first period. Boyette with the ball, gives it off to Barton at the top. Now to Whiteneck, he'll turn, shoot the jumper. Too strong, rebounded by Hughes, but Trace Maddox will steal it away from him. And now he'll drive, kicks it off. Barton will steal the ball away. Good job. And kicks it over to Garcia. He'll push it ahead to Whiteneck. And now looking inside, Barton has the ball, out to Garcia. Whiteneck will take the three-pointer and nail it. Hunter Whiteneck, 3 three-pointers in this opening period. 35 seconds on the clock. 17-11 is the score. Cordoni with the ball. He'll look to break down the defense. He drives. Good defense by Barton, stopping the process there and getting it shut down. Garcia goes up and gets the rebound. Brance Hughes with it now. He'll pick up his dribble, gives it off to Whiteneck. 12 seconds. 7 seconds. Boyette takes the three-pointer. Off the mark, rebounded by Steffes. And that'll be the end of the first period. Score 17-11. Rough start to that ball game as the only points scored were by Hunter Whiteneck in that first period, but he did have 3 three-pointers to make the score 11 points for the Bears. Trace Maddox has 8 points for the Trojans. He has 2 three-pointers. Tyler Williams has 5 to open up the game. I think the Bears were looking for a little better offensive output there in that first period. Unfortunately, find themselves down by 6 going into the second period. Ready for the second period. It'll be Trojans ball to begin. Cordoni inbounds to Keenan Smith. He'll look to turn the corner. Kicks it into the corner to Kyler Williams. He'll take the three-pointer and knock it down. 20-11 now is the score. Over to Garcia. Now to Boyette. To Hughes. Now to Whiteneck. Over to Boyette. Garcia drops the ball. He's looking for the shot. Boyette. Over to Garcia in the right corner. Back to Boyette. Now to Garcia. To Boyette. Over to Hughes. He'll step back, shoot the three-pointer. Off the mark, and foul will be called on the loose ball there. On Trent Barton will pick up the foul. His first, team's second of the ball game. Garcia checks out. Jacob Ford comes in for the Bears. Smith with the ball. Over to Cordoni. Looking inside to Henderson. Nowhere to go, so out to Steffes. Now to Smith. He'll take the jumper. Too strong. Long rebound out to Henderson. Now Williams will shoot the three-pointer off the mark, and Whiteneck will claim the rebound. But he'll look to take it up the court too quickly. And now lots of crazy action here. And now the Trojans come away with it. Smith with the ball. Looking inside. And stepped out of bounds there as he claimed the ball. So that'll be Bears ball. Colby Maddox checking back into the ball game, replacing Kyler Williams. Boyette will bring the ball up the court for the Bears. 20-11 is the score, 6:20 on the clock. Over to Hughes. He'll dribble back to the right. Now to Ford. Back to Hughes on the right. Into Barton. To Ford. He'll look to drive. And now throws it away out of bounds. 5:56 on the clock. Turnover there by the Bears. Smith will bring the ball up the court for the Trojans. Over to Colby Maddox, looking inside to Henderson. Now Steffes on the backside will get the layup. Whiteneck with the ball. Dribbles to the left, kicks it off to Boyette. Now to Hughes. To Boyette, he'll take the three-pointer. Off the mark, rebounded by Colby Maddox. He'll bring it all the way up the court, give it off to Cordoni. He'll keep driving. And now an offensive foul as Trent Barton sets himself nicely. Picks up the offensive foul for Cordoni, number 1. That's the second team foul. First team foul for Cordoni. It'll be Bears ball. Boyette has the ball. 5:10 on the clock. Over to Hughes. Now to Boyette. He'll look to drive. He'll go all the way to the basket, puts a shot up, misses it. Steffes will come away with the rebound. Pushes it ahead, but it goes out of bounds. That'll be a turnover there, and it'll be Bears ball. Boyette gets the inbound pass and brings it across the timeline. He'll turn and go to the basket, lays it off the glass, no good. And again, Steffes comes with go away with the rebound. Dylan Henderson pulls up, gives it off to Colby Maddox. He'll line up a three-pointer, short, rebounded by Smith. And now Trace Maddox gets it back to Smith and lays it up and in. 4:08 on the clock in this second period. Over to Hughes. Now to Barton. Boyette pulls up for three, off the mark. Ford will sky for the rebound. Misses his shot though, and then Steffes again picks up a rebound. Smith with the ball. Now Trace Maddox at the top. Gives it to Smith. Looking inside to Henderson. He'll turn. Back out to Trace Maddox. He'll shoot the three ball. Off the mark. Rebounded by Henderson. And he'll put it up and in for 2 points. 3:20 now on the clock. 26-11 is the score. Whiteneck will line up a three-pointer. Leaves that one short. Trace Maddox will grab the ball. He'll bring it up the court. Looks to drive it. He will. Kicks it back up top to Smith. And now Smith will take the three ball. Off the mark. Ball goes out of bounds. Off the Bears. Checking back into the ball game. Number 25, Kyler Williams, along with number 11, Dalton Williams. Timeout will be called by the Bears. It'll be a full timeout this time. As the timeout expires, 2:55 on the clock in this second period. 26-11 is the score in favor of the Trojans. It'll be their ball underneath their own basket. Colby Maddox to inbound. Over the top to Trace Maddox. Now to Kyler Williams. To Maddox. Inside to Henderson. Now Maddox will drive. Kelby Perez, number 22, has checked into the ball game for the Bears. Brance Hughes claims that rebound. Boyette with the ball over to Hughes. Now to Ford. Now to Perez. He'll lay it up and score the basket. Kelby Perez scores 2. Wild shot. Boyette will claim it for the Bears. He'll race it up the court. Kicks it back to Hughes. Now he'll drive. Goes up and scores. Brance Hughes for 2 points. Finally somebody scoring for the Bears. Last 2 possessions were the first points of the second period. Trace Maddox again knocking down the 3 ball. That's his 3rd of the ball game. Whiteneck with the ball, gives it to Boyette. Now Hughes. Back to Boyette, looking inside to Ford. Difficult pass to handle. Stolen away, but Hughes steals it back for the Bears. Good job by Brance Hughes there. He'll bring the ball across, or passes it across to Boyette. Now to Perez at the top, high post. Looking inside to Hughes. Nowhere to go with the ball, though. He'll throw it away as he saves it from going out of bounds. Justin Kelly, number 21, will check in for the Bears, along with the starters. Some of the starters back in the ball game for the Trojans. Cordoni has the ball. Into the corner to Henderson. Cordoni. Under a minute now to play in this second period. Cordoni will drive. He'll lay it up and in, but there's a foul called. Charging is the call. And so number 1, Cordoni, will pick up his second charge of the ball game. That's his second foul. Both of them charges. 45 seconds on the clock. Boyette over to Kelly. Back to Boyette. Now to Kelly. Trying to look inside. Nowhere to go inside, though. Boyette with 30 seconds on the clock. Over to Kelly. He'll line up a 3-pointer. Long ball, but knocks it down. Justin Kelly knocks down the 3 ball. 20 seconds on the clock. 29-18 is the score. Henderson with the ball. Brings it back up to the top with 12 seconds. Looking inside to Williams. Difficult pass. He handles it, though. Puts a shot up and goes in. And that's the end of the first half with the score 31-18. The Bears didn't come out very well. The 11 points scored in that first period, all by Hunter Whiteneck. Fortunately, a few other guys joined in the second period. Kelly had a 3-pointer. Justin Kelly, number 21. Kelby Perez and Brance Hughes had back-to-back baskets underneath. Driving to the basket, I should say. And so that was the scoring by the Bears. They're getting out-rebounded as well. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rebounds total for the Bears. 12 rebounds for the Trojans. And so they're getting outpaced in all aspects of the game right now. 13-point advantage for the Trojans going into the second half. There's about 9 minutes on the clock. We'll be back for the second half in just a bit. There's a minute left in the halftime. We'll be starting here in just a little bit. I did find the bracket for the Bi-County tournament next week. I want to share that information with you. The boys will be playing Thursday at 11:30 against Granite at Elk City at their gym. The girls will be playing at 1 o'clock Thursday against Eric. And so that's how the tournament will set up the first day. That'll be next Thursday through Saturday is the tournament in Elk City. As we get ready for this second half, again the score 31-18 in favor of the Trojans. Bears have not found their range yet very well. Hunter Whiteneck had 11 points all in the first period. 7 points scored in the second period by 3 different players scoring in that second period. So the Bears need to come out of this halftime ready to go. We'll see how we do the second half. Here we go. Ball's inbounded to Justin Kelly. He'll bring the ball up the court. Over to Boyette. Up to Kelly. Now Whiteneck cuts to the basket. Misses his shot. Perez is there to rebound. Almost makes a shot fall, but he'll go to the free throw line. He's got the offensive rebound. Foul goes against number 30, Kellen Henderson, his second foul of the game. First team foul of this half. Kelby Perez shooting 2 shots from the free throw line. First one is up and in. Second attempt is good as well. And the Bears score the first points of the second half here. Tyler Williams gives it off to Trace Maddox. He'll drive to the basket, off the glass and in. Boyette with the ball. Ford over to Kelly. Looking inside to Ford. No, stolen away by Trace Maddox. He'll drive it, gives it off to Smith, and scores the basket. Keenan Smith. 6:40 on the clock in this third period. Ford will drive the basket and make the shot count and be fouled in the process. Good move by Jacob Ford, as number 22, Trace Maddox, will pick up his first foul of the ball game. Second team foul of the half. Jacob Ford finds himself at the free throw line, shooting 1 shot. It's too strong. Rebounded by Keenan Smith. Colby Maddox dribbles left, kicks it into the corner to Smith. Up top to Trace Maddox. He'll take the 3 ball off the mark. Colby Maddox will be there for the rebound. And then stolen away by Whiteneck. 6 minutes now on the clock. Boyette drives it. Pull up, take the shot. No good. Keenan Smith rebounds the ball. Into the corner to Maddox. Now back to Smith. Looking inside to Kellen Henderson. He'll lay it up and in. 5:30 now on the clock. Whiteneck with the ball. And now Trace Smith will steal the ball away. He'll go in for the layup and puts it in. 39-22 is the score, 5:10 on the clock. Kelly with the ball, gives it into Ford. He'll look to make a move, gives it to Whiteneck. He'll step back, and the three-point attempt is on the way. He gets fouled on the shot. Whiteneck will be at the free throw line shooting 3 shots. And the foul goes against number 25, Kyler Williams, his first, team's third of the half. Whiteneck shooting 3. First one's up and in. Second attempt. Is good as well. Brance Hughes checking in for Justice Boyette. Whiteneck shooting one more shot. And goes 3 for 3 from the free throw line. .450 on the clock. Smith gives it over to Colby Maddox. Back to Smith, back to Maddox. Kyler Williams. Back to Colby Smith. Now to Williams. Ford steps in, sticks his hand in there and gets it knocked out of bounds. And now a timeout will be taken by the Trojans. It'll be a 30-second timeout. And the timeout expires. It'll be Trojans ball. Colby Maddox to inbound. Over to Kyler Williams, now to Smith. Back to Williams. Now Keenan Smith. Colby Maddox over to Kellen Henderson, now to Williams. Back to Smith. 4 minutes in this third period. Over to Williams, back to Smith. Colby Maddox, Henderson, back to Maddox. Smith, Maddox, Williams. Jump shot by Henderson off the mark. Smith will climb for the rebound. Now Jacob Ford will steal it away. And now a double dribble will be called on Ford as he puts the ball down, picks it back up, and then puts it back down again. Trace Maddox finds himself open from three-point land. No good. Jacob Ford will sky for the rebound this time. Now Whiteneck with the ball. He'll look to drive. Back to Hughes, now to Kelly. Into Ford. He'll drive. Gets a shot blocked by Henderson. Now into the corner to Henderson. He'll take the three-point ball off the mark. Jacob Ford claims his 4th rebound, 3 of which are in this third period. 2:45 now on the clock. Whiteneck to Kelly. He'll step over and shoot the 3 ball off the mark. Colby Maddox grabs it. Brings it up the court for the Trojans. Now to Smith. Colby Maddox to Smith. Into Henderson, back out to Trace Maddox. He'll take the 3 ball, too strong. Jacob Ford will get up and get the rebound, kicks it ahead to Whiteneck. He'll come down, take the 3 shot, and knock it down. Hunter Whiteneck for 3. Smith to Trace Maddox, back to Smith. Henderson, Smith. Maddox to Williams. He'll drive, lays it up, and Ford again with the rebound. 1:45 on the clock. Whiteneck with the ball. Gives it over to Perez. A little bit of trouble handling the ball. Now to Kelly. Whiteneck, 1:30 on the clock. He'll step back, shoots a 3 ball, and knocks down his 5th of the ball game. And another timeout will be taken by the Trojans. It'll be a full timeout. 1:19 on the clock, and it's a 39-31 ball game. Bears climbing back into this ball game right here. Been sparked by the rebounding of Jacob Ford. He's picked up 5 rebounds in this 3rd period, along with a basket. Whiteneck has hit 2 3-pointers in a row and has also gone to the free throw line as he was fouled on a 3-point attempt. So he has 9 points in this 3rd period. And that's climbed the Bears back into this ball game. Still an 8-point ball game, but they were down by quite a bit at halftime, and so as timeout runs out of time here. Again, an 8-point advantage for the Trojans, 39-31, 1:19 on the clock in this 3rd period. Still plenty of time for the Bears to make their way back into this ball game. Boyette has checked back into the ball game for the Bears. Christian Steffes, number 23, and number 1, Joseph Cordoni, also back in the ball game for the Trojans. Williams with the ball. Over to Smith in the corner. To Cordoni. Looking the ball around. Williams with the ball. Into Steffes. Back to Williams. He'll take the 3 ball. Be short, and Jacob Ford gets his 6th rebound of this period. 50 seconds now on the clock. Whiteneck with the ball. Brance Hughes will line up the ball. Off the mark. And Smith will claim the rebound for the Trojans. 30 seconds now on the clock. Kyler Williams brings it back up top to set it up. Joseph Cordoni. 20 seconds. 15. Trace Maddox. To Smith. Trace Maddox into Christian Steffes, back out. Looking around, Cordoni shoots the 3 ball. Too strong. Brance Hughes will get the rebound at the end of that period. And the Bears find themselves down by only 8. Nine points in that period by Whiteneck to add to his first half totals. 20 points total in the ball game thus far for Whiteneck. But Jacob Ford being big on the rebounding down in that period. He got 6 rebounds in that period alone. Only had 1 in the first half. That improves the rebounding quite a bit. They only had 6 rebounds, Bears in total, that first period. With the 6 from Ford and another one from Hughes, that gives 7 more rebounds. 17 rebounds for the Trojans. and the Bears take the lead in the rebounding. The fourth period starts. The Trojans have the ball first. Williams with the ball. Now over to Cordoni. Back to Williams in the corner. Cordoni, Smith, Trace Maddox around the horn. Back to Smith. Christian Steffes at the free throw line. Now Smith, Trace Maddox on the left. Back to Smith. He'll take the jumper from about 12. Off the mark, but Steffes is there to rebound for the Trojans. There's a drive by Williams. He'll lay it up and in. Whiteneck with the ball. Gives it to Perez on the left. Down to the corner. Hughes back to Boyette. Now Hughes. Back to Boyette. And now the ball is stolen away. Williams has it. Chased down. Brance Hughes gets the ball back for the Bears. Boyette looking to drive it in. Perez kicks it back to Whiteneck. He'll line up a three ball. It'll be short this time, but Hughes is there for the rebound. And now Ford for the rebound and put back. Jacob Ford with another rebound along with Hughes. 6:15 on the clock. Still an 8-point advantage for the Trojans. Steffes to Smith to Cordoni. Williams back to Cordoni. Looking inside. Trace Maddox trying to post up in there. Kelby Perez on him. Now they go inside. He'll put the shot up, and it rolls in. Trace Maddox for two. Good defense there by Perez. He couldn't do anything except that. Whiteneck with the ball. 5:40 on the clock. Now a timeout will be called. Be a 30-second timeout. And that'll be the third timeout taken by the Bears. They'll have two remaining in the ball game with 5:39 on the clock. And down by 8. Again, the next time the Bears play will be the Bi-County Tournament next week. I believe that's the next time they play. Hold on, let me check my calendar. Yes, next week, Thursday through Saturday, 24th through the 26th. We will not be able to broadcast the game. KECO will be broadcasting it from Elk City. The Bears play first. They'll play at 11:30 against Granite. Then the Lady Bears will play at 1 o'clock, facing off against Eric. Justin Kelly lining up the three ball. It's short. Whiteneck will run it down and put it back in. 2 points for Whiteneck. 43-35 is the score. And now bad pass goes into the backcourt, and it'll be a turnover by the Trojans. .5:15 on the clock in this fourth and final period. Whiteneck inbounds to Boyette. Passed off to Jacob Ford. He'll drive it in. Gets his shot blocked by number 25, Kyler Williams. He'll bring it down the court. Gives it off to Steffes. He'll go to the basket, lays it up and in. Huge turn of events there on that play as Jacob Ford looked wide open. Went to the basket but had his shot blocked. And the Trojans went down and scored the ball, making it a 10-point advantage. Boyette with the ball. Gives it to Whiteneck. And now a 5-second violation is called. Five-second violation on the Bears there. This pressure was being put on the ball by the Trojans, so it'll be a turnover there by the Bears. Smith with the ball, gives it to Trace Maddox at the free throw line. Back to Smith. Now Henderson. He'll turn the corner. Looks for a move inside, kicks it back to Smith for three, and it's good. Keenan Smith for three. 4:15 on the clock. Boyette with the ball. Into the corner to Whiteneck. He'll shoot the three ball. And knocks it down, his sixth of the game. Keeping the Bears semi-close. It's a 10-point game, but 4 minutes left in the ball game right here. Colby Maddox drives, kicks it into the corner to Williams. And his three ball goes in. And now a bad pass by the Bears, still stolen away by the Trojans. Now Williams will give it up to Smith. Kellen Henderson now at the top. Trace Maddox will step into a three ball and knock it down. Goodness. It was an interesting ball game, and now it's not. 16-point advantage just like that. In the course of about a minute's time of play, 54-38. And a timeout will be taken by the Bears. It'll be a full timeout. They'll have one remaining timeout in the ball game. 3:18 to play in this ball game. The Bears got a little lackadaisical, had a turnover there, and that was all it took. Starting with the block shot way back against Jacob Ford, which led to 2 points, and then three-pointer, and then another three-pointer. Give them their 8 points. And double up the score, double up the advantage on the Bears. 54-38 is the score. It'll be Bears ball. Play resumes. .318 on the clock. Inbounded to Whiteneck. Now to Boyette, brings it up the court. They've shut Justice Boyette out of this game. He doesn't have any points, no rebounds. Whiteneck gets the ball. Gives it off to Kelly. Ball's out of bounds. It'll be off the Trojans. So Bears ball, 2:55 on the clock. Whiteneck to inbound to Kelly. Into Ford, post, he'll turn. Goes to the basket and gets the foul against him and makes the basket count. He'll go to the free throw line for a chance for 3 points here. And number 30 will pick up the foul, Kellen Henderson. That'll be his third, team's fourth. Kelby Perez will check into the ball game here for Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith has been shut out of this ball game as well. No points, no rebounds. So for the 2:49 on the clock, Jacob Ford makes his free throw. 13-point lead for the Trojans now. Smith with the ball. Picks up his dribble in the backcourt. And now a timeout will be called by the Trojans to save that possession as they were getting close to the 10-second violation in the backcourt. It'll be a 30-second timeout called by the Trojans. Again, the Bears had it down to 8 points in that third period and went into the fourth period with 8 points behind. But the Trojans have come back and put up 16-point lead and now a 13-point lead with 2:39 on the clock. The Trojans break their huddle and ready for action here. See how this plays out here in the final. 2:39 on the clock. Colby Maddox with the ball, gives it off to Trace Maddox. Now to Cordoni, Joseph Cordoni. Now to Colby Maddox. Back to Cordoni. Looking inside to Smith. Tipped away by Jacob Ford. 2:20 now on the clock. It'll be Trojans ball. Williams inbounds to Smith. And now a foul will be called against Hunter Whiteneck. It'll be his first foul and the team's first of this half. Inbounds play, Trace Maddox will inbound to Colby Maddox in the backcourt. He'll bring it up, pulls it back out, now cuts to the basket and lays it up and in. Colby Maddox with his first points of the ball game. Whiteneck with the ball. Picks up his dribble, over to Kelly. And a turnover there by, gets it to Smith, steals the ball and lays it up and in. Boyette with the ball. Again, he's been shut out of this ball game. He'll go up. Ball is saved by the Trojans. Now a foul will be on Whiteneck. And that'll be his second, team second of the half. 58-41 is the score. 1:24 on the clock. Brance Hughes checked in for Justin Kelly. Now Colby Maddox will look to drive the basket. Gives it up to Steffes. He'll kick it back out. Henderson to Smith. Steffes, Henderson. Now to Colby Maddox. He'll go left. To Smith. Now back to Henderson. 1 minute on the clock. Colby Maddox brings it back out. Now to Steffes. Now to Williams. And now a foul is finally called. There was lots of contact. Hunter Whiteneck was trying so hard to get a foul, stop the clock, but they weren't going to blow that whistle. He'll pick up his third foul there finally. 44.7 on the clock. And now the subs will come in for the Bears. Josh Land, along with Max Pennington and Gage Roost. Some subs in for the Trojans as well. Now a foul will be taken by Kelby Perez. This will be his first foul. Team's fourth. 30 seconds. Rebounded by number 11 and put back. Dalton Williams. Gage Roost with the ball. Moves it up to Brance Hughes. 5 seconds. And that's the ball game. Final 60-41. The Bears fall. The record goes to 6-13. Hunter Whiteneck ended up with 6 3-pointers in the ball game, along with a 3-point play, as he made a basket and had a free throw attempt there. .25 points is what he ended up with. Jacob Ford ended up with 7 points, and 8 rebounds. Kelby Perez had 4 points and a rebound. And the ball game falls short here. The Bears do, 60 to 41. Record is now 6-13 on the season. Next time they play will be at the Bi-County Tournament Thursday morning at 11:30 against Granite. And it'll be broadcast by KECO. The girls will play at 1 o'clock against Eric in Elk City. And so that's where the next time we'll see the Bears in action, and the Lady Bears as well. Lady Bears had a great win tonight as they took on the number 3 team in the state and won 69 to 45. A great offensive effort as well as defensive, all-around ball game by the girls. Won by 69-45, improved the record to 13-6. Boys fall short here tonight and go 6-13 on the season as they fall to the Trojans. So this is Casey King signing off. Adam Bryson on the computer, Kaylee King on the camera. And we want to say, go Bears.